Hello people. Uh, I just came out in the market, so ऐसे ही थोड़ा flow मेरा बन गया, so I thought I should record something. So I'll do some like 20-25 minute concept sort of a video. I hope it shoots right. मेरा थोड़ा सा vision का I'm having issues. ठीक है ना? हाँ यार. Okay. So uh, I want to talk about skyscraper. Let me move on to some place else. Like, I mean, skyscrapers as in philosophically speaking, क्या मतलब है इस चीज़ का? मतलब what is, frankly speaking, according to me, what is our lot in life and what we should do and what we do instead. I mean, we do it, but I don't think it's like as structurally or clearly understood. These things happen, but I want to sort of articulate it so that conceptually, we have one whole. So I don't think we have a whole, clear whole as yet, right? So somebody who likes to think and see, like, their job is to make clear holes, right, of what already exists. So, like, what is skyscraper and all that? See, I think. And what is our lot in life? So I think we have like good, what, 60 odd years after kind of graduate from school, and when you are young, say 11, 12 or something. So when you have conscious, I mean, you know where you want to go in life, at least priorities are made by that age. So उस टाइम पे हम क्या सोचते हैं फिर? उस टाइम पे we want to do like coolest possible things, right? As many cool things as possible, right? जो भी हमारा cool है, that's personal, right? And that's the point. See, I think according to me, our lot is to sort of rise up in life, and by up I mean like spiritually and philosophically, right? And it includes materially also, but I mean that's a part of it, right? So however, whatever is your satisfaction level or whatever, right? So that's business, so that's you. So, but thing is that as far as skyscrapers go, so every decade we do something, right? I mean, say from 5 to 15 we spend in schools. Like 5 में तो we're in class 1, so from that to 15 we kind of learn concept, science or जो भी math, right? एक level पे we learn, right? And I think that's most population, right? Learning it. उसके बाद 11, 12 होती है, we sort of go finer in those things. Conceptually it is very enriching, right? और उसके बाद थोड़ा detail work start होता है, right? You choose your disciplines, whatever, right? So that's another issue. But the whole thing is like, then from 15 to 25 you sort of learn whatever. It's more professional, right? But that whole decade is still about learning professionally what you want, whatever you want, right? So okay, so every decade you kind of do something. So you have like 7 of these decades, say 5 to 75, right? मतलब just saying, okay, let's just focus on this particular part. So thing is that thing sort of happens in these time spaces. I mean, you like something or you like it or not, I mean something has to happen, right? Because time moves forward, and you put effort every day, you do something and something comes out of it. It can be repeat work, right? Just somebody makes say pizza, so they're making pizza every day, so it can be repeat work, but by the end of it, say in 5 years they make a lot of pizzas because they are pizza makers, right? Yeah, for somebody who's in leadership, so they lead a group of people. So I'm in leadership, so my lot is that I lead a group of people, or I try to sort of educate in ideas, because ideas have to be fine, right? So that's the thing. So but what should we do, right, in these time spaces? So should we rise or should we expand? That's the core question. And what do I mean by rise? So I'm just talking purely in spiritual terms. securely in. Should I take you to some better surrounding? I don't know. So we'll just see like how it goes. I'll take you to a tour. यहाँ पे कुछ I'll just take you to a tour, okay? So yeah. But what should we do? That's the question. So I think our lot is to sort of rise, right? Rise, and spiritually, right? Like in human terms, we should rise. We should not think about expansion, right? For example, say somebody leads an army, right? And they lead. I mean, they used to in earlier time they used to lead them in other territories for whatever purposes, expansionist purposes or whatever, right? But what happens at the end of the day, on a long enough timeline, जो people who have knowledge of that space, they sort of end up prevailing in that space, because knowledge is everything, right? Without knowledge, I mean, I cannot live in an igloo because I'm from here, India. So people who are in igloo, I can go to those places, but I just don't have the life skills, right, to live. So I mean, no, I'm not saying that moving is bad or anything, but how you move, that's more important. So I think people should rise in life. So as in grow like a skyscraper spiritually. So what that means is that first you should have ideas in place, right? And then you should put other things in place. Idea should be as high as every skyscraper is different. I mean, you don't have to be the tallest skyscraper or whatever, right? But I think it's exciting to live life like that in skyscraper framework. What it means is that first we should try to be the finest form of ourselves, be the finest mentally finer things first, which are like just say having time for people you like, and just having I mean in idea space. So instead of thinking about how can I acquire more maybe things or something else. No, I'm not saying that acquiring something is bad or anything. I mean, I like to acquire things like everybody else, right? But it has to come from the right place, right? So you just can't sort of just expand from one situation to another. That okay, now I've got this. Now I want something else, and not have other things in say idea space or in spiritual space maybe sorted out. So I don't think it's nice that if that is your value. So it's all about values also, right? I guess. But the thing is that whatever value that you have, right, and hopefully you have something, you have values which are top, hopefully, right? Even if you are more practical or some more say fluid and flexible, but I mean life is life, right? So everybody is trying to negotiate, but still I think we should try to be the finest version of ourselves that we can be, and for every human being that is different, that is true. So but that's the thing, right? For every human being that is different, so for you also it is different. So you don't have to, you should not copy if majority is doing something, or big masses of people are doing something. For them, maybe it is right, but you should not get influenced by it, right? Um, Skyscrapers are about um, trying to live life at your own peaks, and if you have more peaks, then every decade you can add more. For example, some people are very versatile. They do a lot of things. They can be say Ben Franklin, right? He or people used to do polymath, in earlier times. They still are, but so um, they were scientific figures. They were business people. They were political figures, whatnot. And Da Vinci was a painter. Engineering he did, lots of things. I mean, whatever areas that he interested in, and whatever. I mean, he liked to peak in everything. So whatever his peaks were, right? So that was his framework, right? He didn't really, or those people, they didn't really constrain themselves to one thing or one type of work only. No. But not everybody can do it, because people are built differently. But that's the point, right? This has to be recognized, that people are built differently. So you should also not, you should people should embrace their uniqueness, right? And not sort of fall for the currents that are prevailing, because then that's kind of shunning your own uniqueness, right? As far as ideas go, ideas are simple ideas for everyone. Uh, they are also taught also, but I mean they are very natural also, right? So, for example, say I live here in Dwarka, right? So it has a lot of trees and everything, and I like to enjoy natural beauty. That's just who I am. Whenever I have time, I enjoy it. I go for walks. That's a value that I've had. It's a long time. So for me, that value is. I mean, I'm not prepared to shun that value. It's very important for me. I'm not prepared to shun it for, say, a next project in my life, right? I mean, that project has to meet quality standards, or say skyscraper standard. It has to be something that kind of fits with everything else that I'm doing, right? It's very natural. But I think what happens is that people very easily abandon everything that they themselves hold. It's about themselves, right? So it's not about, see, if you are purely material person, so there are no judgments here. Life is life. Everyone is trying to live, right? So, and that's fine by you, right? But others, if you are not like that, then you should also not get confused or get over influenced by what is happening. So, for example, I don't watch TV series, right? So most of the people have watched them, but I just don't like it. Time is everything. So if you have free time, then you kind of do adventurous things, creative things. Enjoy. I think you enjoy life a little bit more. Not that I'm against them, but it's just that right now I just don't watch them. I haven't watched them for like 10, 12 years now. So, but now I don't, and when I was small, I used to play video games, but I have completely lost interest in them. So my brother plays, but I mean that I don't judge or anything. It's just everybody's made differently. So I don't do it because, I mean, frankly speaking, I find talking to my friends a lot more satisfying than playing video game or watching TV series. I watch a little bit sport. I mean, I watch major matches and everything, but IPL I haven't watched. Big Boss वगैरह मतलब nothing. That I've not done. I think I mean, if you abandon adventure, if you abandon uh, talking to your friends, if you just fill your time with sort of easy things, then you start aging very quickly. I think I don't feel age. I mean, I must. Wear is natural, but I mean, mental aging is mental aging, right? So that I don't feel. I think that my friend has liked my photo. So see, the problem is that ideas are not visible to everybody, right? So if you are happy and living by yourself, that is something which might not be very apparent, right? Which is fine, but after a while, then people kind of start retorting back and saying that you are not doing certain thing a certain way. That is the problem. That is where dropout happens, right? So the dropout problem is that others not understanding, say, maybe final things, and then kind of retorting back. That's essentially what dropouts are, right? So it happens in. I was in West Bengal for a while. So in villages, I used to meet students, and teacher was telling that students drop out after class 7. Why are they dropping out? Because others are able to understand value of education, and so they start putting pressure, and they're just like 12 years old, so उनको क्या पता? And they see easy gains कि चलो ठीक है, मतलब you go out, you will make money or do farming or whatever, right? Or so dropout is that. It's a problem of others not understanding value of final things. That's what I think. There might be other things also, but I think this is the core. So, but I think life has a lot of finer ideas, finer things, and the philosophical paradigm of Skyscraper is that first you should be the finest possible version of yourself in idea space. The shade is nice. I'll show you. दिख रहा है क्या? Nice, no? Yeah. So first you should be finer version of yourself, and then you should do other things. And that journey has to continue. I mean, that's what Skyscraper. There is no limit to So whatever fine you can be, or however fine you can be, and then living your life by your standards. But I think standards are always in minority. For example, okay, here in Dwarka, we see all these apartments, right? So they are ready to move in apartment. So very few people would, and I mean they're compatible. I myself live in apartments, so I'm not no judgments or anything. But I mean there is still value to say looking for the right piece of land for you, or right apartment or whatever, right? And sort of architecting something that suits your needs, right? So more precisely, with precision. So that's, and sort of taking out time. So that this process, if you want something built for yourself, that thing takes time, because you will not know which area you want to move in. So Dwarka is one, but there might be other. So I prefer this because I'm from here. So, but then again, this is local knowledge, right? So if somebody comes from outside, for them, they have no clue if they want to go to West Delhi or South Delhi or whatever, right? So they have to. I mean, if I moved in New Delhi, so I would first, just spend a lot of time exploring and finding out the right answers, because it's a big decision. Once you build a house, you have to live in it for, say, almost all your life, right? So there is value to putting time to look for things. So right. So I would look and I would come, and uh, then I would explore a little bit all of, I mean, whatever research I would do and whatever areas I can look, right? Then I would find out the right place. Then, you know, I'll architect something that I want, and even that, I mean, I have to, because I don't know what I want, right? I mean, th- I know that I should look for something that I want, but for that I have to kind of explore a little bit, expand myself a little bit, so that, you know, my own needs are expanded, right? I mean, they're already there, but you know, at least they sort of come in the what request box, right? So if request box has more options, I mean, it's more clear, more wide, then you look for better structure. Then you sort of, you know, work with an architect, or if you're an architect, let's say an example, I'm an architect myself. So then I architect something which I want. You know, I want bigger windows, more trees. I like trees, right? So those things. So, but it was easy for me, you know, to that I could have just looked for an apartment. And you might say means. See, I'm saying, let's say means are not the problem, because means are one part of the problem, but there are a lot more other problems that exist, right? So let's just focus on something which is in our hand, which everybody can do. So yeah, that's it. So then, um, so so it was easy for me to move into a ready to move apartment, but that's not skyscraper. I mean, you know, I mean, if it comes out of something, comes out of a place which is closer to what you want, and then you buy number, then no problems, then it's fine. But if you, I mean, you ask what everybody is doing, they're, you know, mass solutions, right? So then, and you then buy something, then, I mean, I'm not saying there's not value in it. I mean, everything is value, but at the end of the day, your own process has to apply, right? So you take everybody, what everybody's saying, then you sort of, you know, apply your own standards, you know. That's skyscraper, and keep on doing it. So if you find something better, then you sort of evolve, right? So that's how companies are built, anyway. If somebody is evolving, yeah, that's how I started. I have lived my life also. So when I started my business journey, I thought I should build a design studio or something. I mean, that was the apparent thing. At one point I was fascinated by that, so, but then slowly I realized that there are other things I could do with time. So, you know, I found out that maybe finance is a better way, because I like to understand uh, more than actually, you know, I'm more of an architect than a builder. So that was the knowledge that I gained. So I like to think and, you know, work on finer things that when you're building you don't have time, because you're a builder, right? So that's what skyscraper is. And whatever is, whatever values that you have, you go by those values, right? So don't go by what I mean, only by popular opinion or something, right? And if possible, try to, so every decade try to add a new floor, right? So that will make you, excitement should go up, right? But I think usually excitement kind of fades away, because everybody's busy, and I mean, you know, they're doing their work and everything, which everyone does, right? But values are also important, that's what. And if you pick something up, say if you pick something up from me, that's why I make these videos, right? So if you pick something up, nobody watches them, but I still make them. My friend told me to. So if you pick something up which is nice, then you, I mean, then you take it up, right? Just because everybody is not doing it, I don't think that's the reason to not do something which is better, right? Because India needs better. If everyone does their best, then India will be, I mean, by far the most advanced country, right? Because we have so many people, right? So if everybody does their best, but So that's what Skyscraper is to me. I'll make more videos because it's a deep concept. I'll make more videos. Think of this as an intro video, right? It's a critical concept. I'm almost out of time, but I'll try to sum up my thoughts. So try to rise up, right? So values are more important. What you already have, don't just chase. I mean, things because everybody else is chasing, because that might not be right for you, right? So, for example, everybody is moving in, say, 4 bedroom apartment, right? And for that, they are willing to accept any project that comes. But you don't do it. You start with a studio, 2 bedroom apartment, whatever, right? Then you work on own skill, own craft. Then slowly, when you are developed, when you are everything, maybe you can buy a penthouse also. Who cares, right? So, but that's the thing, right? You live by your values. You keep on playing. You keep on meeting your friends because that's wealth you already have, right? So, and if that is something which you value, which I think it's pretty basic, right? Friendships and understanding and thinking and talking to people, playing a little bit, right? Everyone has those values. So I think those values kind of beaten out of people by sheer repetition. And but I don't think you should do it. You should keep your core values and then sort of find answers in that framework. If something is not available, then it's fine, but you can always it's like you know making your own, architecting your own house. If they're definitely not available, but then that's the whole excitement about them, right? So because ends never justify the means, right? So there's nothing against an apartment or anything, right? Like I said, I myself live in them, but it's the way that that comes out, the way that you decide, that matters. So take I'll make more videos on that. So our lot is to rise. So expansion is just like crude collection of things, maybe to please society or whatever, right? And why blame society? I mean, some certain sections, right? Because there are good people also everywhere. So that's, I think, our lot is to rise up in life. First in idea space, and then instead of just crudely running. So I'll make more videos on this. Okay, sure. Bye bye.